performing a dramatic interpretation titled Isle of Hope, Doorway of Leaders. Its legacy still stands. On the first day of January, 1892, they opened Ellis Island and they led the people through. And the first to cross the threshold of that Isle of Hope and Tears was Annie Moore from Ireland, who was all of 15 years. How far would you travel to find a better life? What if that journey took weeks under difficult conditions? If you answered whatever it takes, you echo the feelings of the 12 million immigrants who passed through Ellis Island's halls from 1892 to 1954. Leadership is the ability to forge ahead amidst terrible circumstances, overwhelming fear and total uncertainty. The immigrants came in waves. They came to a country where they didn't speak the language, that had little or no formal education, just a desire to better themselves and to escape the past. These were carpenters and peddlers and farmhands, yet still they came, because in their hearts they possessed the fortitude of generals. They were a large part of the gene pool from which America grew. These were America's leaders. The government thought up Ellis Island as a solution to an imminent immigration problem. People were pouring into the country. It was a world in turmoil, and the United States government was seeking a handle on the increasing percentage of humanity searching for sanctuary and a new start. Annie Moore was the first person across its gleaming floors to present herself to be processed. It was recorded that she was 15 and that it was her birthday, January 1st, 1892. She lied. She lied because it was expedient. A child ticket cost less than a ticket for a 17-year-old. Many immigrants lied if they thought they could tell the officials what they wanted to hear, and the officers and crew of their boats were more than happy to help them learn the right answers. You see, the ships had a financial stake in making sure the immigrants passed inspection. They wouldn't have to take them back. There were many rules one had to follow to enter the United States. You had to have money on you to show you wouldn't be a burden to society. You had to be in good health, and you had to have a way to support yourself. Despite these rigorous requirements, less than 2% of immigrants were deported. The health official boarded our boat. He walked among us as our boat completed its trip up the bay. Then the barges came and we all crowded on. We're all so eager to meet our new country and terrified we might be denied. We'd all heard the stories on our voyage. I remember one man, he'd said, Sarah Mills. Mills. They'll deport you for sure with a name like that. Stories like that floated stuck among us like seeds from the gorse bush on the farm at home. They stuck to everything. Still, there were over 1 million of us Irish immigrating to America, and it was 1920 and I was a modern woman. I wouldn't listen to a bunch of rumors. To lie or not, I wish for a moment as the bodies closed in around me that it'd become one of those mail-order brides I'd watched from afar. You see, they had gotten first-class tickets from their fiancés. They knew they would make it to America. Me? I was among the masses of the steerage passengers, unwashed, tired, and just another number. I didn't know if I'd make it to America. All I knew was I couldn't go back. I had to press on. I love hope, I love tears, I love freedom, I love fears, but it's not the ad you left behind. That I love hope, I love pain, and you'll never see again, but the Isle of Hope is always on your mind. The chalk dust felt gritty in my fingers, a necessary tool of the job. I knew my uniform inspired fear in those who approached me. That was all I saw, the uniform. As the immigrants rose up the stairs, coming in waves, it was my job to inspect them for any difficulty they might be in. I saw face after face flinch from button hook as I began my trachoma inspection. I didn't know how to reassure them, tell them it was all right. They were here, where the best medical facilities in the world resided. All for them. Only a few hundred would be marked for further examination, and the majority of those would be on for a train in a few hours. But those who had to stay, I could feel their fear as I marked their coat. A tremble, a glance, a frantic look. Didn't know how to reassure them, tell them they were lucky. Instead of being thrust into a foreign society, sick and unable to care for themselves, we would care for them, feed them, and cure them, and then they would be free to go. In a little bag she carried all her past and history, and her dreams for the future in the land was so bad. I had books and I tried to learn English. It wasn't easy because I had to do it alone. I was surrounded by people, but none I could communicate with. You see, my mother, my uncle, my sister, and I were all deaf. I was glad my grandmother had come, she at least could hear. My mother was glad they provided kosher food, and the rest of us, well, we were just happy to be alive. My father hadn't been so lucky, gassed on a Nazi train on his way to a concentration camp. I remember we were all so scared they'd be sent away. The world wasn't kind to a poor Jewish family, especially one that couldn't hear. We'd had help getting this far. The Hebrew Immigration Aid Society was instrumental in getting us to Ellis Island, but now we were at Ellis Island. Who would help us? Then Tanya Nashfather. She was with the New York Aid Society for the Deaf. She talked with the judge, and finally, after 5 months, we were finally allowed to leave Ellis Island for a new country. When they closed down Ellis Island in 1943, 17 million people had come there for sanctuary. And in springtime when I came there and I stepped onto its piers, I thought of how it must have been, for I am 15 years. This song isn't just about Annie Moore. Every single person who came through Ellis Island can identify with it. A history of various cultures and societies melding together on our shores is one of our country's greatest legacies. The government thought of Ellis Island as a way to control the privilege of coming through its borders, and a privilege indeed it was, one not afforded to everyone. The Chinese were excluded by law. Ellis Island allowed European immigrants to come in and establish themselves. These people shaped this country, their values, their religions, their history. The government took control of immigration with the creation of Ellis Island, and even though it closed as air travel became more common and less centered around ships, its presence and the policies enacted forever changed the course of America. Over 40% of Americans can trace their ancestry through this remarkable place. It's a symbol of hope, a symbol of moving forward, a legacy left unwittingly by the leaders of America. I love hope, I love tears, I love freedom,